Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fine video. We're going to have a look at weather for today's 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, goodness gracious me. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with GFS and GFS and ECM ensembles. Make one channel in weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us into the second half of January. And I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, the video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We also released a weekend forecast and the ECM GWV January. Please check out all of today's videos and content. Like, share, and subscribe on all of today's vids. And thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone. And just to say that if you'd like to give a little donation to myself and to GavsWeatherVids, if you've been enjoying our content through this year, then you can come to GavsWeatherVids' PayPal page, sign into a PayPal account, and send whatever donation you want. We'll say hello to you and, you know, give you a Merry Christmas and whatnot. Maybe you want a Merry Christmas somebody else. Might be a friend, a family member, a partner, a lover. I don't know. But whoever it is, just let us know and we'll give you a little shout out, and that's no problem. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that last Saturday before Christmas. Goodness gracious, very exciting times. Sorry, everyone. Right, let's have a look then. We're going to start off. Central temperature heating is currently sitting at 7.1. That's 2.5 degrees above 61 to 1990 average, provisional to yesterday, to the 20th of December. Very mild first sort of 20 days of December. Likely to keep that up as well, I think. Have a quick look at December with the CET. So this was CET page from Hadley. All monthly CETs going back to 1659. Here, oldest and most reliable temperature record anywhere on Earth. Of course, further back you go, more reliable it gets. So let's come down to 2024. And December's not going to be placed here. So remember, November came in at 7.2. So it's not out of rounds of impossibility, but we might actually beat December's, or November CET, I should say. But I think that's probably unlikely. I think we'll probably end up somewhere in the upper 60s. But it's not going to be a very mild December. Following on from a very mild December last year. Last December came in at 7.1. 2022 was a slightly colder December, though. That one came in with CET of 3.5. You remember it was very cold, actually, the first half of that month. And then it got milder. I think it's like the first 18 days or something were very cold. And then it got a lot milder as we moved into the Christmas period through the last week, 10 days or so of the month. Otherwise, that probably would have been a CET in the 2s, actually, which is something not happened for quite some time. Before that, in 2021, we had another exceptionally mild December at 6.4. 2020 was a bit cooler at 5 degrees and slightly colder around Christmas that year as well. 2019, pretty mild at 5.8, very mild in 2018 at 6.9, rather cold in 2017, and that did actually have some snow in that December at 4.8. Another very mild December in 2016 at 6 degrees. And then, of course, we have the December to remember for all the wrong reasons for cold is in 2015 with a new December CET record of 9.7, absolutely smashing the previous December CET records. Our last extremely cold December, proper cold Dickensian Christmas was 2010, of course, with a central temperature of minus 0.7, just 0.1 of a degree off the all-time coldest December back in 1890. Show that in a moment. And very nearly the coldest December within the entire CET index back to 1659. In fact, if that cold snap that started, or cold spell, that started in the final week of November, started just a couple of days later and ended a couple of days later. You remember it ended just after Christmas, around 27th of December is when the fall set in. If the freeze had carried on let's say to the new year, and they covered the full calendar year of December, I think we probably would have come in with a December CET of -1 or something. So it was an extraordinarily cold spell that we had from the final week of November into the closing days of December in 2010. It really was an extremely cold December. Remember, 2 more cold Decembers in 2008 and 2009. Those Decembers coming in at 3.6 and 3.1 respectively. 2006 was a very mild December at 6.5. And let's take you back to 1890 finally. Just have a look at the coldest December on the CET index. There it is, 1890, central in temperature of -0.8. So we just 0.1 of a degree off that. Equalised that, and 0.2 of a degree off beating that in 2010. Absolutely extraordinary month, December 2010. But we haven't had many cold Decembers since, and this is another one to add to the mix. This will be another very, very mild December once the number is placed there into 2024. Hope you enjoyed that little bit of CT Saturday. Right, let's have a look at the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. So London today, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature. Actual London, we're starting up above average in the south at the moment, turning cooler in the north. Cold snap coming up through the rest of this weekend into the start of next week. Not going to last for very long, though. Upper air temperatures really lifting up into the Christmas period. Very, very mild Christmas to come. And then heading towards the new year, the upper air temperatures coming down. Although there is a lot of scatter within that as well, and actually we lose the red line, so I suppose you've got to envisage, let's change colour, I suppose you've got to envisage that the red line would be like here. So overall the ensemble mix with the white line probably a little bit under the long-term 30-year average, but with a lot of scatter, so we've got mild ensemble members down there. What I'm talking about, we've got colder ensemble members. What are you doing, Gav? We've got colder ensemble members down here and milder ensemble members up there. So a bit of uncertainty heading in towards the new year there. Precipitation-wise, showery conditions come over the next day or so, but very dry over the Christmas period with high pressure dominant. Then between Christmas and New Year, looks like we're turning more unsettled, so cooling down and turning more unsettled into the new year. Temperature anomalies for the 21st, 29th, we're going to be above average, a mild Christmas week to come, and precipitation anomalies for the 23rd, 29th December. Most areas dry up and north, but a bit wetter for western parts of Scotland. The latest wind map from NoSchool.net shows that we bring the wind in from off the Atlantic, and starting to bring some slightly cooler air in from the North Atlantic as well, from the south of Greenland. And so the trend for this weekend is to turn things colder, but next week that will very quickly be pushed away by very mild air wafting up from the Azores. Right, let's start going through the chart data then. It's our latest UK Met Euro is looking for midnight on Christmas Eve. High pressure south, low pressure north, southwesterly winds setting in, bringing the air up from the Azores. That's Christmas Day. Again, high pressure south, low pressure to the north in an envelope of very warm air from the southwest. High pressure increasingly dominant through the end of the week. That might allow for a little bit of fog to start getting going down to the south, maybe a little bit of frost and fog by next weekend. That's Saturday next week, 28%, but still dominated by high pressure then. And as I say, as high pressure gradually drifts northwards, we might start to pull some slightly cooler air in off the continent with an increasing risk of a bit of frost and fog. We'll have to wait and see about that. Long way off. Icon, again, that southwest is setting in on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Southwesterly winds dominating, high pressure and drifting up from the south very gradually at the end of next week before starting to weaken into next weekend. That's next Saturday. Starting to turn a bit more unsettled up in the north, but still mostly dry down in the south. The KMA, once more, with that southwesterly wind setting in and the air originating from the Azores over Christmas into the Christmas to New Year period. High pressure gradually sinking southwards, turning a bit unsettled actually around New Year's Eve, maybe a bit stormy there. I'm not ruling out a chance of a New Year's storm. More low pressure punching through on New Year's Day. That was very wet, and that one is starting to introduce some colder air from the north as well. So into the new year, after the very mild Christmas, the New Year starts to turn colder there with the KMA, with winds doing a switcheroo around to the north and to the northeast. Well, let's pick the storyline up further with the GFS midnight run. Again, the southwest wind is setting in on Christmas Eve, going to give us a dry but also very mild Christmas into the Christmas New Year period. High pressure tries to hold on, maybe a bit of frost and fog at the end of the week, but heading in towards day 9 and 10, turns more unsettled with lower pressure moving in from off the Atlantic. That's New Year's Eve. Not that far from start drops of colder air in from the north, but actually looks quite mild, but more unsettled with outbreaks of rain. Very mild with a long fetch southwest returning for New Year's Day, but also wet this time. So not mild and dry, mild and wet, with low pressure dominating from the Atlantic. So the opening days of January, very mild, long fetch southwest wind, but also a lot more unsettled as well, with persistent and heavy rain. As we head further on through the first week of January, we'll eventually start to push that low pressure through, raise a high bit towards Greenland, and hint anyway that we're going to start shifting the wind around to a colder north or northeasterly. What about the GFS sits there by comparison? Southwesterly winds again, bring up the air from the Azores and even south of that over Christmas. It's going to be a very mild Christmas. Between Christmas and New Year, high pressure remaining in control, and as the wind shifts more towards the continental flow, might start to bring some or increase the risk of some frost and fog at the end of the week. Into the weekend, pressure gradually weakening, but probably still mostly dry in the south. Could be a bit chilly by this point, turning wet winding out to the north and the west, and then low pressure begins to move in from off the Atlantic as we head in towards the new year, perhaps turning increasingly unsettled and maybe colder as well. We go further on through that first week of January, and look at this, we turn the wind into a much colder northerly there. Through the first weekend but January, by 10 cells iceberg lurking to the north of Scotland, and that starts to plunge southwards. So a definite hint of a cold snap there from the north with the GFS 6 set. Long way out though, so don't get excited just yet. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Make sure to everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let's know nothing about this on all of our videos, content, live streams, etc, etc, etc. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. We've gone past 19.2k. We're pushing on quickly as we can to 19.3k now. So if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Thank you so much everyone. Right, GM again, high pressure south, low pressure north, wafting up that southwesterly on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day looking mostly dry but very mild. High pressure and strengthening over the country at the end of the week, and then on into first weekend of last weekend of December, I should say. Looking mainly dry, but could be a bit chilly, turning more unsettled, but still milder by New Year's Eve. That's day 10, and then the ECM looks like this. Oops, we got to go backwards. Sorry about that, everyone. There we go. Right, ECM looks like that. Winds in from the southwest on Christmas Eve, and also Christmas Day, and on Boxing Day as well. High pressure sitting over to the east country by Friday. Bit of a continental flow might start bringing some frost and fog into the south, into the final weekend of the year, still with high pressure in control. And that's increasingly suggestive, I think, that of an increased risk of fog, maybe some frost as well into the last weekend of the year. By day 10, high pressure's weakening on New Year's Eve as lower pressure comes in from off the Atlantic. That's New Year's Day. So suppose we get to with the ECM on wetter today. And by that point, we're into wetter and windier conditions. We can actually go to the very end of the ECM run over on 2, though. So weather outlook showing wet and windy weather there. No pressure on New Year's Day. Now check out what happens after that. Heights begin to rise in the Atlantic. Low pressure shifts eastwards over the first week of January, becoming colder, with winds shifting around to a colder north or northeasterly. A cold snap there to the first week of January. Growing evidence here that the first week of January might yield something colder. probably won't last all that long, but, you know, we might get a few days of colder weather into the new year. This is my precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tobetter.com up to day 10. So tonight we've got wintry showers packing in to the north and west. Snow could fall to low levels in some places. Tomorrow showers will ease off. Then the warm front pushes through on Monday. We're back towards light rain and drizzle in the far northwest over Christmas. Otherwise, a mostly dry Christmas and mostly dry between Christmas and the New Year as well. Just by New Year's Eve, had some wet weather starting to gather in the Atlantic. And these are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today. 4-day temporary Icelandic Met Office gets us to New Year's Eve. 35 members of the ECM ensembles raising heights in the Atlantic, but we're actually still mild with low pressure around Iceland, high pressure to our south and east, and winds coming up from the southwest. And then we've got 16 with high pressure to the west and southwest, and low pressure northeast. That keeps us pretty mild as well. In 2 weeks' time, though, these are the options that we've got, and it gets us to the 5th of January. 19 members of the ECM ensembles with a high pressure in the Atlantic going towards Greenland. Low pressure is to our east, and winds are coming in from a cold north or northeasterly direction. It includes the control of the operational, so a cold snap there by the 5th of January. We've got 18 members of the ECM ensembles, very similar. Low pressure again to the northeast, high pressure, a change of colour, is out to the west, and again winds will be coming in from a colder northwesterly or northerly with that. And then 14, though, milder with high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north, and so that's maintaining the west-southwesterly flow. There are increasing signs here, but we might turn things colder through the first week of January, but we've still got a lot of water pass under the bridge before we can have any great level of confidence in that, I think. It will be something to keep an eye on, though, in the coming days over Christmas, and we will be keeping you updated in our 10 to 14 days through the next few days. Right, CFS, and then we're done. What an epic video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Thanks so much, everyone. CFS V2, 500 middle bar, high down breakdown week periods. The first week period takes from the 21st, 27th of December. The next week, with high pressure to the south and low pressure to the north, winds are coming in from a westerly direction. It's going to be mild, but a lot of dry weather over Christmas. Week 2 will be the 28th of December to 3rd of January. High pressure beginning to pull more toward the west and northwest. Low pressure northeast Scotland, almost starting to shift the wind around into a colder northerly. Week 3 will be the 4th to the 10th of January. No cold snap. Low pressure to the north, high pressure bow maintained to the south, and that keeps wind in from the west. Eastern America's getting the cold air with that, as the trough low pressure off the eastern seaboard will bring down colder air from Canada there, probably. And then finally, week 4 is going to be the 11th to the 17th of January. High pressure then over and to the south of the country. 7th pattern got over Christmas. Keeps wind up from a southwesterly. No cold weather to enjoy there, other than maybe a bit of frost and fog. We'll see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much, everyone, for doing that. Drop a comment. Let's know nothing about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe to me. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Right, so tell us having on the channel tomorrow. We're going to have a 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. And we'll have a 10 to 14 day in the afternoon. Then in the evening, we're going to do a live stream at 6 p.m. We'll go through the 12Z, and we'll probably do our first ensembles watch for ages. In fact, first ensembles watch of the winter, I think that would be. So that will be coming up at 6 p.m. tomorrow. I shall see you live then. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon, though. And for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching. See you again soon, and bye for now.